body's strong enough, the body's in good enough condition, it will discard the waste. But if you make it a part of your daily diet, it's going to affect you. And we have all kinds of information today to show you that fatty, saturated things will adversely affect the body. Nothing causes more cancer than dairy food. It's acid. But sugar is acid also. Flour is acid. Alcohol is acid. Huh? Acid is really what's killing people. I'm going to point that out in a second. But we must be mindful, and this is another thing, we are not as mindful as we ought to be. We're not as in tune as we ought to be. Because why? The blood is confused. And when you confuse the blood and its partner, the lymphatic fluid, the cells are going to be confused because they get their food from the blood and lymph. And once the blood and lymph are confused, those cells being confused, the organs are going to malfunction. What is going to happen? The entire organism is going to react in a very violent way, or in a very soft but still negative way. So we have to be careful, we have to be mindful. We have to be kind to us, to ourselves. We have to be wise today. Because the food, the air, the water, it's all poison. This is a poisonous world we live in. And if we want to live, and we all want to live, I don't know of too many people who really want to die. But we get ourselves caught up in commercials. What this person said, or we heard it on CNN or one of these channels, and we take these things as gospel, and we live by them. And after a while we get sick, and we come down with headaches and blurred vision, and we start wearing glasses, and we start, we over-medicate ourselves, we under-exercise, we don't do the things to keep our system up enough. So what? You live a very short life. A very short life. So I just want to share that part of it with you about food. Food is most unique. There is not a disorder that cannot be corrected. And cancer is the easiest of all. They lie, yes, they lie to you. Cancer is a very easy thing to correct, not cure. To correct, because it's a disorder. Just as diabetes. Diabetes is very, very, very simple, very easy to correct. You bring anyone who's diabetic to me, type 2 diabetes, because we have problems with juvenile diabetes. You know, children are very active and very difficult to control. Huh? But you get an adult with diabetes mellitus, and within 30 to 120 days, I correct it. Even if the person has been on insulin for over 20 years, I will correct it within 4 months. Anyone. It's very easy. Any disorder can be corrected. Skin disorders, very, very easy to correct. Any of the skin disorder can be corrected. Yes, ma'am, very easy to correct. This is lymphatic I'm looking at. But we'll talk about that after, privately, okay? So, again, you have to have faith and trust in Almighty God to know that God is within all of us. So, we are all wise. We are all wise because God is all wise. Yes. It's just understanding that we need. We need to get to understand ourselves more. Okay? Now, I'm going to make it not too long a talk because I would like to hear from you. You have questions, I would like for you to send them out here and let me answer them. I don't have all the answers, but believe you me, I will answer you one way or another. Okay? I spoke about acid. And let me just see what colors I should use. That's a cell. A healthy cell should be generating energy, just like the sun. Huh? Here, you can't get sick. As a matter of fact, you won't die. Isn't that remarkable? Here, you won't die. But we have to remember and be a little bit more realistic than that, and know that the air, the food, the water is all poison. And if we're not careful, yes, we will die in this poisonous world. But the point I'm making here, if you can get here, you will live for a very, very long time without any sickness, any torment, or any of those things. But lack of rest will destroy this before you know it. First of all, you start looking old. See a lot of people and you say, wow, I haven't seen Mary in the past 2 or 3 years. And I saw yesterday, man, she aged. She's not getting enough rest. Rest is very important. I don't mean just sleep. I mean restful sleep. Vitally important. We can go for months for years without proper nutrition. You see people eat out of the garbage cans. They live. They live. We can go also without exercise and live for a very long time. But you cannot go without sleep for 1 day without it affecting the cell. The other important thing is too much water. Not the 8-ounce glasses of water per day that they've been lying to you about that everyone should have. Because what happens, the water, excess water will put out the fire, will put out the light. Improper nourishment. Those who think they can just eat some cookies and soda pop, Pepsi or Coca-Cola, and make that their diet, it will destroy this before you know it. Because they're both acid, what we call a double negative. The soda is acid and the cookies would be acid. So you're having an acidic diet there. It will destroy this. But the biggest problem we have today, we're faced with, is over saturation of fat. This is what's killing people. This is destroying the earth. Water cannot and will not penetrate unless you have one of those micronized waters that they have on the market today. Water will not penetrate fat. Huh? Oxygen, very valuable, most valuable, cannot and will not penetrate fat. And food particles will not penetrate fat. So total what? Starvation. Here you find most people today in our society. That's why our society at large is really underproductive. Absenteeism is very high. Anywhere you go today in the world, not just in the United States, but we have it big time in Jamaica. Big time. Jamaican people are very hard-working people, but because of the level of their health, they use a lot of fat, a lot of sugar. They will even sweeten orange juice. Serious, this is a serious thing. But they use a lot of fatty things. So you find here is where most people are. This, I can tell you, is where cancer will manifest. This is trouble. This is arthritis. This is diabetes. This is cardiovascular disorders. This is excretory problem, kidneys and bladder problem. And this is where you find the headaches and the backache, fibroids and the prostate cancer and the various types of cancer that you have. This is where you find skin disease. This is death, folks. You don't want to be here. Okay? Talking about sickness. No, you have two different industries. Sickness industry and the wellness industry. Okay? We're with the wellness industry, not sickness. Here, it's very easy to reverse and come towards life. All we have to do is just be open enough to make that conscious change. But most people are afraid of coming out of that box. We're too afraid. Fear, again, is a condition of the kidneys and bladder. Fear. The more you oversaturate your kidneys with fat, the more your confidence and your courage will be diminished. It's vitally important for you to know that. Courage. If you get up one morning, you go for a nice long walk, when you get back you just feel great. You feel like you can go out and conquer the world. What happened to your fears? What happened to your will? What happened? It comes right back. So it's vitally important for you to know that it is you who will change it, not Emanuel. I'm just the facilitator here. It is your mind that must be good enough and strong enough. It is your love for God and yourself that will make the difference. That whole lifestyle change is vitally important. Are you with me? Once you clog your liver up with this, with fatty acids, it's going to affect one of the most valuable organs in the body that they remove as soon as they tell you you have stones. What is it? The gallbladder. The gallbladder is most important. It creates room for saliva. It manufactures saliva. It manufactures insulin for protein. It's a vitally important organ. And once you clog that up with excess bile, the excess is going to go and damage the adrenal glands. Well, these glands are vitally important to your endocrine system. It's important to the kidneys because they're supposed to protect the kidneys. They're vitally important. Once they are clogged, again, the kidneys, the vessels in the kidneys, once they're clogged, what happens? The kidneys cannot function, cannot filter the impurities from the blood enough. So what happens? It affects the bladder. You don't want to mess with the bladder because the bladder is also a part of the reproductive organs. vitally important. Once you interfere with the bladder, the nervous system is going to be affected. Very important. So you see, the whole problem we are facing here in life is digestive disorders. Once you straighten the digestive system up, you won't get cancer. You won't get sick. You won't. It's vitally important for you to know that. But not too many people who really talk about the digestive system in full. They might talk about an organ or two. They don't take you right through it. The digestive system is where we're having problems. And once you interfere with the digestive system, you are interfering with the nervous system. And once you interfere with the nervous system, the entire organism will fail. It will fail. The reproductive organs are controlled by the nervous system and the digestive system. And this is why your gynecologists are always packed with females. Not male, too many men don't go to doctors with reproductive problems. They're always fine. Men are always fine, no matter how sick they are. They'll tell you, I'm okay. But the gynecologists, they're always packed with women because women are having a lot of problems. Men have their shit too, but they hide a lot. They wait until they're overwhelmed and they just collapse. But a woman, as soon as she feels a little whatever, she's gone to her gynecologist, which is very wise. But now it's the approach that the gynecologist will take that will make the difference. And if they're just packing you with pills and tests and tests and tests, you're going nowhere. This is why you have to read for yourselves. You have to start to think. If you can't think for yourself and you're asking question, and you're not taking action, then you're getting nowhere. It's not wise. It's not wise. It's good for you to go and have your checkup. Just go and check with your gynecologist. Get out there and do it. And once you do that, you have to follow up. You have to read. You have to go to the health food stores. They have a lot of nice books. Even the library they have today. You can go on the internet and get a lot of good, sound information today on your health. It's not like before. Before they would lie to you. Today you can prove that they're lying. Just don't leave it up to them. If you find out that you have cancer, fine. Find out what you can do to help yourself. Just don't leave it up to them with the chemotherapy because it's killing people. Anyone who can prove to me that chemotherapy is not killing people, they can come forward. It is killing people. It's not the best thing for you. Remember I said food is life. Food is energy. Food is intelligence. And without it, sickness can never be definitively cured or corrected. So we need to understand who we are. We are all God's children. God does not make mistakes. I'm not preaching to you, I'm just telling you because I'm a man who is really in love with himself because of God. God has never failed me. I've seen too much proof to know differently. Keep your mind clean. Let this stick behind your hindbrain. Now, I'm just going to touch on cancer and one or two other things, and I'll stop and let you ask some questions. Cancer is gender. You have male cancer, you have female cancer. Male cancer is always running. moving very fast. Female is different. Female cancer will start, oh, you can't see that. We'll use blue. Can you see that? Female cancer, she's moving at the same time, but in a different way. Are you with me? Now, female cancer looks for male organs. Male cancer looks for female. Huh? If you were to be attracted to her, we all know that something would be wrong. Huh? Just as if I was attracted to another man. Huh? In the human body, you have solid organs and you have hollow organs. The kidneys are what? Solid. The stomach is what? Hollow. So the stomach is a female organ, whereas the kidneys are male in nature. Are you with me? But they both have male and female tendencies. The kidneys that are male, they can expand. They can expand. You can shrink the stomach. You've heard that, right? You can shrink the stomach. So that shrinking is a male attitude. Expansion is a female attitude. Even though today we see some men with the female tendencies that have a big stomach, they do expand. So they're mimicking the female. And we have female who mimic men. Huh? Different tendencies. You have female who their androgen is so high they are like hard men. They even go and lift weights like men and look and go into competition like bodybuilders. It's a male attitude. Huh? Hormonal problem. Androgen is way out of range. In the Orthodox world, what they do, they give you estrogen, which is not right. They try to match your estrogen with your androgen level. So now they're both out of their normal sphere. It's not medicine. What happens? You end up with cardiovascular problems and all kinds of problems. It's not wise. Nutrition took it out of range, and nutrition should put it back in range. Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
Come on, does it? Okay? So you don't want to do that. If your androgen is high, it's because you're getting too much protein. And it's true, today, women are doing hard work like men, so they take on the attitude as men. They take the excess food in because they have to go and do the type of work that they're doing. And some of them, they're doing easy work, but they still want to eat like if they're out in the field somewhere chopping trees. So they're taking all this chicken and beef and so forth, right? And even the animal itself is being injected with all kinds of steroids and all kinds of other different types of hormones. So then you take on the characteristics of the things that you are ingesting, because we are what we eat, remember? So you find that imbalance there. So it's the same thing. You are always attracted to the opposite. If you're attracted to the same, then something is wrong. That's why when you eat, you have to eat that way. Huh? If you have long vegetables, you have to look for short vegetables to match. You get where I'm going? So it's the same thing here. She is looking for weak male organs to latch herself onto. He's looking for weak female. Just like, you know, you go to a party and the men, women do it too. And they walk around, they look around. And the finest, weakest looking female they see, they go look for a dance. And then they have the language to go with it. And from the language, here comes a connection, because he's telling her things that she wants to hear based on her present condition. You see? So here comes this attraction. And they're going to do what men and women do, and here comes, the next thing you know, they can't stand each other after that, because were not compatible in the first place. It's just that situation, you know, and condition caused them to be attracted at that moment. So what we do is, if the man goes after the cancer, if we find cancer in the stomach, we know it's a male cancer. You see what I'm saying? If there's cancer in the kidneys, we know it's a female cancer. Now, how do you counteract? You have to give the organ different type of food. We're not concerned about the cancer cells. I'm not concerned about your headache. Are you with me? I'm not concerned about your diabetes. I'm concerned about your overall condition. I'm concerned about bringing the organism into balance. Harmonization. We must know and learn how to keep the body in harmony. It's when the body is out of harmony that we get sick. So how far we are away from balance, we get sick very fast. You know, some people, they always have a cold. They just always have a cold. It seems like they're just a cold. I watched a tape to that Karen's house. The children last night, they tried to get me to watch it, but I was so tired. And we started watching it, but I fell asleep. Right at the fireplace. It was wonderful, you know. They slept with me. We slept right there watching the tape, you know. And this tape, I recommend that you all get it. It's called Osmosis Jones. It's a cartoon. It is fun. It is really, really highly educational. Every adult should have it in home. Take it and get it for your grandchildren. Get it for yourself. Watch it. Pay attention to it. And you will learn a lot about what I'm saying here from that tape. It's very, very important. So what we are about here is to go after the condition of the body, not the disease. If you do that, you're forever looking for something to cure something. Cancer is not a microbial organism like some virus. Are you with me? Diabetes is not a contagious or some kind of microbial organism that you go look for something to stamp it out. It's a disorder. It's just a simple disorder. It's just a disorder. Cancer is just a simple thing. And if you're looking for something, one told me once, that you don't want to find, you don't look where you drop it. So that's why they're always saying, oh, we're looking for a cure for diabetes. No, come on. How can you look for a cure for something that is not contagious? It's just the body that is out of alignment with nature.